What's poppin', everybody? Cerebral24. We're gonna be looking at the Dark Order Japanese mini set. I'm guessing that's gonna come out in the same way the other ones come out, either bundled with one of our Western sets, our next main set, the Kanto themed one, or they might release it like Dragon Majesty, who knows? But it's small, 50 cards like the other type themed ones, and the focus is dark Pokemon, since it's called Dark Order. I looked at some of the cards, but a lot of the other ones, I don't know what they do the majority. We're going to look at all of the cards here. So this set is pretty small. Pokemon, it's not up there with Yu-Gi-Oh! When it comes to product releases, but it's definitely getting up there. Just so many sets getting released. With all these mini sets coming in Japan, they got to figure out more ways to bring it to the West, of course. So more sets to buy. So let's start. We got a Litten here first, the first card, and surprisingly it's not dark, even though, I mean, I guess no, it's only the final form that's dark. Okay, so my mistake, getting a little ahead of myself here. Doesn't really do anything. Okay, next up we got Torracat. Nice art in the background there. Reminds me of the Kenichi episode with the car with the cat, Kisara, if you guys know. But anyway, that's irrelevant, but this guy also doesn't really do anything, but it works with any energy. Okay, that's interesting. And next up, there's no Incineroar. I'm guessing it's dark, that's why they're gonna feature it later. But these are the fire Pokemon. Wow. So only two. And then we got Zapdos here, even though it says Articuno, Cerebi, they're errors. And this Pokemon is kind of good, but kind of bad too. So I know what it does. Basically, Assault Thunder does 10 for 1 lightning energy. But then if this Pokemon moved from your bench to the active position, kind of like Golisopod GX, it's going to do 70 more damage, the attack. So you do 80 basically for 1. Now the problem is it's not affected by resistance. By weakness, I mean. It would have been good if it wasn't affected by resistance. And that's bad, because if you you could have hit for weakness. You move this Pokemon in the active position with the Choice Band. You're at the 100 damage, so 200. You could get some knockouts on GX Pokemon, Lightning Weak, but unfortunately it doesn't do that. And it doesn't really have anything else. 110 HP. It's not the best, but it's not that bad. But it's in that range where 110 HP, double retreat cost too, only one attack. It's not that good of a lightning tech in a format where we have Xurkitree and other Pokemon. So yeah, even the Raikous. Okay, next up we got the Marip Flaffy Ampharos line. There's Ampharos GX, so that's pretty interesting. And let's see, Marip doesn't do anything. Discard Lightning to do 30. Okay, so it's like 30 for 1, I guess. Not bad. Flaffy, 60 for 2, and then you discard all Lightnings. Okay, and you can do 30 for 1. That's not bad. And the main attraction, Ampharos GX. I know what this card does a little bit. It's pretty meh. It can do some interesting things, but okay. So 240 HP, that's decent. It's a stage 2. Normally you'd want to hit 250. You're going through the trouble, but 240, not so bad. Problem is though, with that 240, you get a 3 retreat cost, and that's not good. That kind of sucks. Metal resistance can't be handy, but that retreat is pretty big. And it's got 3 attacks, of course, as a GX. You've got your power recharge, does 30 for 1, and you can place all electric powers from your discard pile into your hand. Okay, so electric power, if you guys don't know, the card got released in Lost Thunder. It's a pretty busted card. It's basically a triple plus power, a choice band that works on everybody. You just add 30 damage to any lightning Pokemon that attacks. So that's quite powerful. So the combo basically is, I guess you play a bunch of these and then you can do a lot of damage for only 1 energy, and then you can get them back. So that's pretty interesting. If you use, like, let's say 3, you're doing basically 120 for 1, and that's before the choice band too. If you use all 4, you can be at 150 with the choice band, so you can do a lot of damage, provided you have them in the hand. Now, that's kind of interesting. It's kind of cool. You can recycle that card, but, you know, there's no really reliable way to search electro power. So we're gonna see if that can be pretty good. There's better lightning Pokemon, I feel like Zeraora GX to exploit, but I guess if you want to use this card, its second attack is much better, I think. Impact Bolt, you do 150 for 2 and you discard all lightning energy, but with lightning energy acceleration, you can sort of make this work faster. Now that damage though, doing 150, I mean, it's it's not bad. Remember, you can use Electro Power, Choice Bands, so you can get one-hit knockouts. You're gonna need a few more add-ons. It would have been better if the base damage was more, but it only needs 2 energy. So I like the second attack much better, to be honest. It's better for you to just, let's say, use a couple of electric powers and time them right. So for example, one electro power, one choice band. With this attack, you can do 210. So you know, just make a couple of significant attacks a couple of times, get big one-hit knockouts, and you win. Just knock out 3 big GX Pokemon, Stage 1 GX Pokemon, and you win. So that's why I feel like it's better to just do something like this. But I guess Power Recharge, maybe you're going to do that, use that until you get ready for Impact Bolt. Oh well, and then its GX attack works with one energy too, which is okay. Electrical GX, I swear to God, that's not creative at all. You can search your deck for 7 Pokemon and put them into your hand. Strong searching power, but I would imagine if you went out of your way to evolve into Ampharos GX and you took your time to set up, you're not going to spend this attack to search for more Pokemon. But I guess it's something, I suppose. If you want to complete your setup, maybe you got this guy out and then you're going to use this to search the other Pokemon, get more Ampharos GX in play. It can come up. It's not a useless attack, of course, but I don't know. I wish it had maybe something else more practical, like a good high damaging attack. I don't know. That paralyzes like Lapras, maybe. Who knows? It's a decent Pokemon. Um, lightning support is pretty rich, so maybe it's gonna be good. There's other stuff that is just so much better in here, but it's a solid Pokemon, I suppose. Next up, we got Blitzy and Zebstrika. Search deck for 2 electric power. So this guy also searches electric power. So I guess that's one way to search it, but you gotta attack. And Zebstrika, it's a pretty standard Pokemon. You do 100 for 3, that's not so good. Raid, if you evolve this turn, it's gonna do 120 for 1. You do 90 extra. Then again, it requires 2 energy. Decent, nothing that spectacular. And Mulga here is pretty good. I like this sort of art, this sort of cute Pokemon. You normally associate it with sort of daylight and positivity and, these sort of themes. And, it's dark, it's the moon. Behind it, it's the moon, I'm pretty sure. Or it's actually, no, it might be just the electricity it's generating. But it's got sort of this sort of cool sort of dark theme. I like it. Emolga looking pretty serious. But anyway, the important thing is the ability, and it's a Nuzzle support guy. So Gathering Cheeks, my god. Once during your turn, you may search your deck for 1 Pokemon with Nuzzle and put it into your hand. So you can get a bunch of Pikachus with this, you could get Pachirisus, a lot of different Pokemon. Hopefully this helps out Raichu GX somewhat. That Pokemon is pretty good, and it's not seeing any play. Too bad. But it's a good searcher for these lightning Pokemon with Nuzzle. Free retreat too, not bad. We got Joltik, Clayart. Pretty sure I've seen you before with Clayart. Just heals when it attacks, okay. And then Galvantula, lightning Pokemon. What you got? Unnerve. Whenever your opponent plays an item, a supporter card from their hand, prevent all effects of that card done to this Pokemon. So this can be pretty useful. You don't have to care about Guzma, you don't have to care about other stuff, laser and expanded. So it's nice to have that sort of immunity. Now, with only 90 HP, it's not the tankiest Pokemon, but I guess you've got that protection. And Spider Thread, you do 40 for 1 and you move a card from your discard pile into your hand. So good sort of searching recovery attack. You get anything from the discard pile if this translation is correct, and you do 40. Not a heavy hitter, but you got to remember the electric powers and all of the other supporting effects. Getting any card from the discard pile is strong. So a nice little Pokemon too. Next up we got Heliolisk and Helioptile. What you doing? Nothing, okay. And Heliolisk. Random Spark. Does 30 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon. So a Snipe for 30. Weak. This is pretty weak. And Volt Switch, 90, and you switch this Pokemon one of your bench Pokemon. It's got to be Lightning. So it's hit and switch, so maybe this is going to be another Pokemon that can do the hit and switch stuff, but forcing you to switch into Lightning Pokemon limits the walls you can use, so it's just another Pokemon that's probably going to suck. Weird art too. And next up we got Tapu Koko Prism. Now this is a good card for sure. Looking pretty slick. All of the Tapu Koko cards so far have been pretty good, and this one is going to be the same, is no exception. So its stats don't look that impressive for a Prism, but then again, we've seen a lot worse. 130, still not bad. 1 retreat, okay. Metal resistance, so decent stats all around. Mac Bolt, not that impressive, doing 120 for 3. But the reason you're going to use this Pokemon is for Predecessors, its ability. So once during your turn, if this Pokemon is in your bench, you can attach 1 energy from your discard pile to 2 of your bench Lightning Pokemon. So basically, it's like a double Dynamite or a double Psychic Recharge with Malamar. You get 2 energies, and you can attach them to 2 different Pokemon on your bench. They gotta be Lightning, but this is still pretty great. The cost is then you discard any card attached to this card, and then you move it into the Lost Zone. So basically, you have a one-off double Psychic Recharge Malamar for Lightning Pokemon. But it's great. This is only a basic Pokemon, Lightning, and man, this just helps out Zeraora even more. It's not really doing that much, from what I understand. I guess people are more hyped for the Blacephalon, Naganadel deck and other decks, but I feel Zeraora, if people really just understand that that card is good, the Lightning support is good, and they use it, I think it's a very great deck. I still think it has the potential to be the best deck, minus the fighting. The fighting can counter that. I wish I had the cards to show you guys because I do talk with some people and they, say that I overhype the deck, but it is what it is. Everyone is entitled to their opinion. Anyways, this Pokemon is definitely great. Help out any Lightning Pokemon. Damn, you can even use this with Shining Rayquaza. Man, even if you run Magnezone, just so many great ways that you put it into the Lost Zone and you basically get 2 Lightning Energies. So it's basically like a free energy acceleration. No reason not to run it in Lightning decks. Definitely. Great card for sure. Even more Lightning support. And that's it for the Lightning Pokemon. Then we got a couple of fighters. We have another Larvitar here. Chip away. It doesn't do much. Very interesting art here. You got the Larvitar in this sort of like some sort of sweater design. I don't know what the hell this design is, but pretty interesting. I can't even remember the last time we saw something like this, if we ever did. But anyway, another Larvitar, basic Pokemon. I think the other ones are better. And then we got another Pupitar here. If your opponent has only 1 prize card left, this tag is going to do 120 for 2. Interesting. But the one that basically protects itself anywhere, I think it's better. You're going to run that always. And we got Pancham. What you got? Arm Thrust. A coin flip attack, okay. If you get heads, you discard energy attached to your opponent's active Pokemon. And you do 40. Alright. Okay, and now for the Darkness Pokemon, and this is the heavy shit. They put the first Pokemon, the busted dude first up. So, we got an Alolan Grimer here. It does 50 more damage for each special condition on your opponent's active Pokemon. Okay, seen that before. You can obviously use this and it's going to be strong. You just use a laser, attach a DC, and man, you can do 70 for a DC, and if you get the extra plus with sleep, you're gonna do 120. And obviously you can use this Pokemon with Salazzle and do other combos, so it's not useless. But the main killer here is this Alolan Muck. This guy is gonna be the shit with uh, Garbodor. They're gonna be like the shit garbage Pokemon duo, and they're gonna destroy everybody. Garbodor has already proven itself to be a fantastic Pokemon. Too busted with that Trash Lance attack. It just really forces your opponent to screw themselves over, not play their items, have them stuck there. You get less cards when you use Cynthia because you shuffle them in. You don't use them to draw more cards. So you do that, or if you just use them all up, then Trash Lance kills anybody basically. And this is what this is gonna it's gonna add to that. With Strange Appetite, when you play this Pokemon to evolve your Alolan Grimer or maybe the Prism Ditto, you may look at the top 6 cards of your opponent's deck, discard any item cards you find there, and then your opponent shuffles the deck with the rest of the cards. So this is busted for several reasons. Number 1 is you look at your opponent's deck. Number 2, if you discard a bunch of items, that's actually a strong deck out attack too. It mills a bunch of cards of your opponent's deck. Man, like if you hit like 2 or 3 cards, that's not weak at all. You're disrupting them that way. And number 3, and the most important thing, is that it basically fuels Garbodor whether your opponent likes it or not. You're gonna hit a bunch of items for sure. All people just run a bunch of items in their deck. You just can't avoid it no matter what you do. You gotta run them. You can't just run a deck with all supporters. And you're probably gonna hit a few cards. Revealing 6 is a decent amount. It's not a shitty amount at all. Now, if it was reveal 3, maybe it would have been weaker, but revealing 4, 5, in this case 6, you reveal a good amount. You're gonna hit something in likely. I mean, just think about it. We use Trainer's Mail, and that card has been so good when we had it. You always reveal an item just with 4 cards. I mean, I guess you can get a supporter too, but it's any trainer, but it's busted. It's pretty good. You're gonna discard a bunch of items, and then you fuel Garbodor whether your opponent likes it or not. So Garbodor can actually be even more aggressive now. He doesn't have to wait. Gunk Shot just does 80 for 3 and you poison. Uh, Decent, not the greatest, but it's DC compatible. So I guess if you run Darkness Energy, you run it in other decks. Man, it's a solid Pokemon all around. 120 HP. So basically what is going to happen is this card is going to be released. It's going to be combined with Garbodor, and then you have a mono Garbodor deck. You don't even have to run other Pokemon, like you don't even have to run Buzzle, you don't even have to run other anti-meta Pokemon. You just run these 2 guys and you just got the trash Pokemon working together and it works. You got a deck. Just run a 4/4 line of Garbodor and it works. It's crazy. I feel like this is going to be the most significant Pokemon in this set. Just a regular Stage 1 Pokemon. Damn it. Next up we got Tyranitar, another Tyranitar. Okay, with this art. It's got 2 big attacks, Spinning Tail, 30 damage to each of your opponent's Pokemon. That's not so great for a 3 energy attack. I mean, think about it. Tapu Koko just does 20 to everybody with DC, but it's a basic Pokemon, works with any energy. It's just a much better trade-off than doing, 10 extra. You do 30 to everyone, but you gotta evolve, you gotta attach a Darkness Energy too, and DC, and it's not the greatest attack. It should have done like 40. Maybe it could have been busted, but at the very least, it gives you a reason to use this as opposed to Tapu Koko. Then we got Bite Off. If your opponent's active Pokemon is a Pokemon GX or EX, you do 230 for 4. So that's very good. This is a much better attack. I mean, Spinning Tail is not a bad attack. It's just I would have preferred to have something else, or just a cheaper attack. So we can start attacking before we get ready with Bite Off, I suppose. If we're not ready with Bite Off. But Bite Off is definitely an excellent attack. It means that you're always going to be killing GX Pokemon and EX Pokemon, basically. You don't even need add-ons. It just does 230 just with its effect, and you can take care of everyone basically. You don't have to use Cynthia like Garchomp. Granted, it costs one energy more, but it's pretty good. It even takes care of Stage 2 GX Pokemon. I believe Sepital does have 230 HP. It might have 240, I don't remember. But you can take care of him. With the Choice Band, you can take care of any Stage 2s basically. Even Gardevoir, even though it's a fairy with the resistance, since it doesn't have that high HP, you can take care of Gardevoir too, Gardevoir GX. So it's pretty good. 170 HP is great. The retreat is big, but it's Tyranitar, what you expect. You've got the surgical resistance as always. And it's a nice stage 2 Pokemon, I'd say. Pretty simple, but you know that once you do get the energies, you can take care of those GX Pokemon for sure. So not bad. Not bad. Maybe you can use this as a tech in your Tyranitar GX decks. Who knows? We got Poochyena. Haven't seen you in a while. Good to see you. My little doggy friend, Darkness Howl. You search your deck for 2 Darkness Pokemon, put them into your hand. Okay, useful. I wish you got them on the bench, but I guess you could search anybody with this too. It doesn't have to be basics, so maybe it's better. 70 HP, pretty good. And then we got Mightyena. And it looks like it's in a snowy area. Wow. You could do Bite, 30 for 1. It's not that impressive. And Dark Fang, discard a card from your opponent's hand without looking. So you can use a DC and do this, and always discards a card. Okay, I guess. I wish it had better HP, or at least free retreat, if you're gonna have 100 HP. I guess this is your go-to Pokemon if you want to focus on a hand disruption strategy, like you use Mars, you use this, and use other cards like Judge, I guess, and Marshadow, if you want to just make sure your opponent doesn't have a hand to work with. That's something, I guess. And next up, we got another Absol card. Cool. Alchemy is an ability. Weird. Weird, but cool. As long as this Pokemon is in play, your opponent's active Pokemon requires one more colorless to retreat. Okay, this can be a handy ability. Yeah, usually people retreat with switches and, okay, not flow stones, but they have other funky ways to retreat, like with Guzmas. But this is going to hurt the free retreat Pokemon like Tapu Koko and other guys. So that's pretty good. It's pretty interesting. It's not a useless ability at all. And then Shadow Seeker. This attack is going to do 30 for 3, and then you do 30 more damage for each energy your opponent's active Pokemon's retreat cost. So synergy with its own ability. So I guess it means you're always going to do 60 for 3 at the very least. And then for each retreat cost, energy retreat cost in your opponent's Pokemon, you add from there. So I guess if your opponent has a 2 retreat cost, you add one more with this Pokemon's ability, that's 3. So you do 120 for 3. That's not bad, but it's not super impressive. These days, other Pokemon can do more shit. Like even the Plasma Absol, actually, for 2 Darkness Energy, can do more damage with a full bench for your opponent. Or the same damage, I guess, with just 2 energy. But against big retreat Pokemon, like I guess 4 or 3 retreat Pokemon, you do, let's say the 4 retreat guy is like 5 times 3, that's 150, that's 180, so that's pretty respectable. So I guess it's going to hit hard the big guys, so that's kind of good, I guess. Buzzle will probably hate this guy. You can hit this, Buzzle can hit this Pokemon for weakness, of course, but I guess this guy can retaliate as a Darkness Pokemon. There's quite a few big retreat guys, I would say, that are relevant. Oh well. Spiritomb, what you got? So it works with colorless energy too, like the Ultra Prism one. You got Soul Compressor. Discard up to 4 Pokemon from your deck, then shuffle your deck. Okay, so you can instantly send Darkrai GXs and other Pokemon like Giratina with this. I'm sure that's going to come up. Useful. These sort of battle compressor strategies are always strong. People find a way to utilize them. It's basically like Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards like Foolish Burial, cards that just put cards in the discard pile, find a way to be good. And then Hollow Shot is just your 1 for 20 attack. Doesn't have a weakness, doesn't have a resistance. It's interesting. This Pokemon is now weak to Fairy, but they decided to just not have that anymore, so I think that's cool. Then we got another Zorua and Zoroark. 60 HP. Hide in the Shadows. Switches Pokemon with your bench Pokemon. So nothing really special. And then the Zoroark here. You got Taunt. Switch one of your opponent's bench Pokemon with their active Pokemon. So a pulling attack. And this attack is going to do 20 damage times the number of Pokemon in your discard pile. So wow, a Night March, dude, that works with anything. You don't even have to use Night March Pokemon. So kind of like the Flareon, I guess. I think it was the Team Plasma Flareon. Although the difference is it's stronger, but it does have a cap. It's times 20, but it costs 3 energy. And you can add more. You can multiply the damage more than 10 Pokemon. Then again, if you have 10 Pokemon, you're doing 200 damage. So that's busted anyway. 200 with a choice band, you're knocking out almost anything anyway. So another very powerful Pokemon. This Pokemon is probably going to be very strong in Expanded, and it might be strong in Standard too. The cost is kind of the HP is sort of, 110 HP is a stage 1. There's ways to knock this Pokemon out quickly. HP never stopped the Night March dudes, but they were basic Pokemon, so I guess there's that. But this Pokemon is definitely going to be strong. Definitely. These strategies are always strong. And the damage output is pretty flexible. It works with anything. Any Pokemon you can combine this with. I mean, damn, you can use the freaking Spiritomb too. So a lot of things you can do, for sure. Vullaby and Mandibuzz. I don't think we've seen you for a while. Draw, collect, draw card. And then Mandibuzz, what you got? Garbage Drop. Discard an item card from your hand, and this attack does 60 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon. So you sacrifice your own items to do a 60 snipe. Yeah, and you fuel Garbodor. Yeah, nobody's gonna try and do that shit. And Brave Bird, 120 for 3, and then you do 30 damage to yourself. I like the art. I don't remember how you say this bird in English. The bird that eats only corpses. I forgot its name in English. Believe it or not, guys, it's not my first language, but I think... No, I can't remember it. I can't remember it right now. But I like this sort of background. It's where these sort of birds usually hang out, like wastelands. Alright. Pangoro. What do you got? Simulate. I thought it said stimulate. Your opponent discards 2 cards from their hand, and you do 60. Wow, that's a strong discarding effect. So maybe use this as opposed to Mightyena, I guess, if you want to do the discarding stuff. 140 HP is a lot more respectable too for a stage 1. Granted, it has a much bigger retreat cost, but it is what it is. And Tantrum is also pretty good. When I see that number, I'm thinking interesting. It does 170 for 4, and then you're confused. But that's in that range to knock out significant things. Put a choice band, you do 200, knock out a lot of GXs. And you take care of stage 2, regular stage 2 Pokemon too. Now you're going to be confused, but that's hardly a cost. You can just use Switch. You're not going to attack next turn. It's good. It's a nice Pokemon. Haven't seen good Pangoro cards for a while, I'd say. If ever. And we got another Yveltal. And it says it has free retreat. That's cool. It's got free retreat. Cool stuff. You got Derail. Discard a special energy attached to your opponent's active Pokemon while doing 30 for 1. Good attack. And then Clutch. 60 for 2. Defending Pokemon can retreat. So a nice little basic Darkness Pokemon. Pretty simple attacks that always uh, give your opponent some trouble. Not being able to retreat is pretty decent. Discarding special energies is decent too. It's one of those darkness Pokemon that's weak to fighting and that's resists fighting, what I meant to say, and weak to lightning. So it's nice. Definitely using this when this come out in Umbreon GX. I like it. Got Hoopa GX. Yeah, I remember seeing you a while back. Uh, yeah, of course, this set, these cards, a lot of these cards got revealed a while back, but I don't review these sets completely immediately. Man, I just combined two words. Probably shouldn't, that don't get, that just don't go together completely immediately. Anyway, so it's a big dude, 190 HP GX, big retreat too, psychic resistance, and it's got 3 attacks, Rogue Ring, search your deck for 2 cards, put them into your hand, powerful, powerful searching attack. You get any 2 cards, it requires a dark, but this is definitely powerful. You best believe people are going to use this if they use Darkness Energy in their decks. Dark Strike, you do 160 and this Pokemon can't attack next turn. So many different Pokemon have this sort of attack that you do 160 and then you can't attack. You need 3 of the same energy type, you know, Buzzwole, Lapras, but it's good, it's still good. The same with this Pokemon, you you're gonna do a lot of damage with a choice band. You knock out a lot of GX Pokemon, and since it's a dark guy, we can utilize the Devoured Field and get into that 200 range. So it's good. And then Devil Hand GX. This attack is going to do 30 damage to 6 of your opponents, Pokemon GX and Pokemon EX. So what this does is that you can, I believe, you don't have to hope your opponent has 6 GX Pokemon or EX Pokemon to get the maximum value. You can just choose the same Pokemon over and over again, or multiple of the same Pokemon. So basically, what this means is that 6 times 30, that's 180. So you got like 180 damage that you can just spread as long as your opponent has at least 1 GX Pokemon. I mean, if he has only 1, you got to put all the damage counters on that dude. If it has 2, you know, you can spread them around, do like 90, do like 90, 90, 90, 60, whatever. But it's definitely a good sort of sniping attack, unique, but that sort of spreading around can be quite powerful. Wrap games up in certain ways. Anything that has the sort of a sinister hand effect of the old Dusknoir from Black and White, it's powerful. And this is a good sniping attack. Just great attacks all around, great Pokemon. Definitely another great Darkness Pokemon to consider in Darkness decks. Alright, then we got Incineroar GX, and yes, this guy's dark. It's got Scar Charge. Once during your turn, you may put 3 damage counters on this Pokemon. If you do, search your deck for up to 3 Darkness Energy and attach them to this Pokemon, then shuffle your deck. Now, I don't give a fuck if you put 3 damage counters. This is busted. If it ends your turn, then it's not good, but it doesn't say it ends your turn. So if the translation is correct, this is great. What it means is you get a stage 2 guy out, you can instantly power him up. You don't have to worry about anything. You got Crushing Punch, does 130, and then you discard a special energy from your opponent's active Pokemon. And then DD Tornado GX, this attack's going to do 50 more damage for each damage counter on this Pokemon. So if this is hurt, this is a crazy strong rage attack. It's going to start at 10, and then if you have like 3 damage counters, that's 160. If you got 4, you KO anything. And it's just strong. It doesn't have, you know, of course, they're not going to do something like give it a 200, an instant, like, let's say, 200 damage attack when it can instantly bring itself up 3 darkness energy. That would have been too strong. But it's still good. It means it's a stage 2 GX Pokemon that you can start attacking instantly. And it's going to make good use of Acerola since you can instantly get the energies from your deck. Maybe if they release a card like, I don't know, Cassius, that puts the card back in the deck with all the cards. So this way you always have darkness energies to get them back. So what you're gonna do is you want to have like a 2 Incineroar GXs, the one that's active, the one in the hand. You, let's say, use the card like Cassius, put the guy in the deck, put the Darkness Energies back, evolve it to the other one, and then get the Darkness Energy. This combo that I just explained is that you always have Darkness Energy because eventually you're probably going to run out if you get them from the deck. But anyways, of course, it can still be used with Acerola, a bunch of cards. So good stage 2 guy. I like that they're sort of they're trying hard, I guess, at least with stage 2 GXs. Skarmory. Calm Strike if you have used your GX attack. 90 for 2, okay. And then Steel Wing. During your opponent's next turn, this Pokemon takes 30 less damage. 90 for 3. Okay, but I think we have other metal Pokemon. And then we got Jirachi. So I might actually have to take what I said back about the Alolan Muck, because technically this is probably the best card in this set. It's not like the card that wins you the game, but it's a consistency card that's amazing. It's basically completely based around the old EX Deoxys Jirachi that was so crucial back in that era, and they're bringing it back. They're always bringing shit back, and I'm glad they're bringing good stuff back at least. So with Wishing, once during your turn, if this Pokemon is your active Pokemon, you look at the top 5 cards of your deck, reveal any trainer card, put it into your hand, then shuffle your deck, and this Pokemon is asleep. So scratch that. I think the old Jirachi, you could grab any card. This, you gotta grab a trainer card. Or maybe that's how the old one was too. You could grab any trainer, just not Pokemon, basically, or energies. Yeah, I think that's how it was. Man, I don't remember shit. But I think, yeah, it's exactly the same effect. You gotta be active, you grab a trainer, any trainer, and then you become asleep. Right. And the attack slap, you do 20 for, or 30 for 2. Okay. The only difference is this Pokemon is probably stronger now, because back then, if your abilities, your Poke Powers as they were back then, were negated, or actually no, if you had a special condition, you couldn't use your Poke Powers. So that's the difference. So it's great. People are gonna use it, I believe. It's got 1 retreat cost, so you can just easily slap a skateboard. Yeah, a skateboard and get out of the way. Of course, you're gonna be asleep, so probably gonna want to use Switch, but you get your free card. You're gonna want to get your, let's say, Elm in this case. Yeah, I guess people grabbed things like the Holland Mentor, so we want to grab your Elm in this case. Set up your basic Pokemon. If you use Lily, you can grab that. You can even grab like other Pokemon like other cards like Ultra Ball and help you thin your hand if you have your Tapu Lele GX or your Lillian Head. Just great combos, especially with the card pool that we have now. An excellent card. 100%. Definitely. Bronzor and Bronzong. What up? Evolutionary advantage if you go seconds. Pokemon can evolve that turn. Okay. And Bronzong. Are you good? This Pokemon does not receive damage from the attacks of your opponent's fire Pokemon Heatproof. Cool. So basically you have, not only you eliminate your weakness, you're immune to fire Pokemon. Cool. The attack isn't good though, just 70 and confusion. Too bad. Then we got Ferroseed and Ferrothorn. Ironically, the Pokemon that sort of replaced Bronzong in the OU metagame back in the Black and White era. Yeah, talking video game stuff now. You don't do anything. What about you, Ferrothorn? Guard Press. Just do 20, block 20. At least you can do it with 1 energy. And then Thrown Pod Throw. Alright. This attack does 20 damage times the number of metal energy attached to this Pokemon. Up to 5 energy. You can add more. Damn. It starts at 80 though. So basically if you have 3 metal energies, that's 60. So 60 plus 80, that is 140 if my math is correct. I think that's right. And then if you add 2 more, that's 200. Fuck, that's a lot for the choice band. So that's pretty good. It's a stage 1, but I mean, you can still probably try and use this with Bronzong in expanded, maybe even Magnezone in standard. Not bad. Not bad, I'd say. I mean, I guess you're probably better off using Necrozma, but it's good. It's nice. Not a bad attack at all. Poniard and Bisharp. What? Oh man, fuck. So Rigidify. You take 20 less, nothing else. Okay. Bisharp. Yeah, that's how you say this guy. Second slash. If this Pokemon has no damage counters on it, 120. Okay, so you get like a free big attack with this dude. Then Power Edge, a consistent 90. Alright. Cobalion GX. Metal Symbol. All of your Pokemon with metal energy are not affected by special conditions or removal of special conditions. Okay, how symbolic. The ability is called Metal Symbol too. So, you guys remember Virizion EX from Plasma Blast? Maybe you don't know. It did the same shit with Grass Energy, and this Pokemon does the same with Metal Energy. You basically, your Pokemon with Metal Energy on are gonna be immune to special conditions. Good stuff, useful ability for sure. Now, it's not like we have Laser like back in those days. It was a bigger card then for sure. But you know, there's always special conditions, so it's nice to be immune to them. You never know when they can come up. And Dual Saber, if there's a Stadium card in play, you do 110 for 2. That's pretty good too. Not bad at all. And Iron Law GX, during your opponent's next turn, none of their Pokemon can use attacks. Busted. Okay, so it doesn't do anything, no damage, and doesn't do anything besides this. Works with any energy though. So basically you are 100% gonna stall your opponent no matter what. They can't get over this effect. They can't get over with Guzma. They can't get over with any other Pokemon on the bench. They can't use any tricks. I guess the only card that would get over this effect would be the Ace Trainers in Expanded. I think that's what they were called, that negate the effects of attacks. But that's in Expanded. So, yeah. You are essentially gonna get a free turn with this attack, since nobody can use their attacks next turn your opponent's Pokemon. Alright, solid Pokemon, solid metal Pokemon. So there's just great support all around for all types. It's great. I've got Honedge, Doublade, and H-Slash. You don't do shit. What about you? Did I just click the same card? Yeah. Tool Drop. Oh shit. Tool Drop. As soon as I see this name, I know what the fuck this is gonna do. So, this attack does 30 damage for each Pokemon tool attached to Pokemon in play, both yours and your opponent. If I'm not mistaken, this is actually stronger than the Tool Drop the old Trubbish did. I think it was ×2 for that Pokemon, although I could be wrong. So yeah, there was a deck back in the black and white days, once again, the Tool Drop deck it was called. It was a Trubbish that basically did the same shit. You attach a DC, and you did a lot of damage for a lot of tools in play. You used Pokemon like the Sigilyph that could have a bunch of tools at once. You loaded up your bench with tools. I mean, if your opponent was stupid enough to play a few of their own, then you would likely get one-hit knockouts on anything. So this is more powerful, and it's a stage 1 Pokemon, but that's not so bad, I'd say. It's a better trade-off for the more damage, more HP too, I guess. Maybe you'll survive more. And it's powerful. Now, a card like Startling Megaphone completely ruins that deck. It's just an auto win when you play that. It's almost impossible for them to come back. Now, in Expanded that exists, in Standard it doesn't. So, I think there is. Yeah, there is a Genesect GX. Genesect GX can have two tools attached to it. So it's not going to be as efficient as Sigilift, but it's still something you can try. I mean, load up your dudes with tools. We have the tool back too. So this might be a real deck as well. You know, the tool drop deck gonna come back. Pretty interesting. Don't count it out. That's what I'm gonna say. Don't count it out. And then the Aegis Slash, what you're meant to evolve. What the fuck do you do? Royal Guard, if this Pokemon is your active Pokemon, it receives 40 less damage from your opponent's Pokemon attacks. But you fucking ruined it by having only 140 HP. You should have had like 150, 160. And then Shield Bash. This attack's damage isn't affected by any effects. 100 for 3. Okay, that's shit. We got Klefki, and then all that's left is the trainers, finally. Why the fuck did I click on this again? I don't understand. I'm pretty sure I clicked on Klefki. Damn. Secret key. As long as the Pokemon is in play, all your opponent's resistance is now, your Pokemon's resistance is now minus 40. Okay, there was a Klefki that basically did this just for the darkness, the resistance for fairies. So basically you could have a bigger darkness resistance. But if this works on every Pokemon, like it says here, I think the translation might be correct, then it's going to be a pain in the ass for those Pokemon that really just like to exploit resistances. Like Darkness Pokemon resisting Psychic Pokemon, Fairy Pokemon resisting Darkness Pokemon, Pokemon like, I don't know, that resist fighting. That's going to be significant. So I guess if you have a deck that really just everybody has resistances, maybe this isn't a bad Pokemon to run. Minus 40, it's very significant. It's very significant for sure. Getting 20 less extra. Okay, now for the trainers. We got Dangerous Drill. First thing that came to my mind is Drill Man from Mega Man. I don't know why. Maybe because I've been playing some Battle Network lately. So this card can only be played if you discard a Darkness Pokemon from your hand. Discard one of your opponent's Pokemon tools, special energy, or stadium cards in play. Okay, so it's a cost trainer card, but it gives you the flexibility of Faban, the new supporter. I think, yeah, that guy can discard stadiums too now. So you can only discard one card, so it's not going to be like Field Blower. I'd say Field Blower is better, but I guess if you really want to have an Enhanced Hammer too, you can use this. And it's very specific. You got to discard a Darkness Pokemon. So if it was like you discard two of those cards, then it would have been very busted, very good. They probably should have done something like that. I don't know, it's just like some cards, they're not supposed to make them so busted and they make them very busted. Something like this, where it probably wasn't going to be so bad. They just went with you always discard one. It's flexible, I guess. It's like Faban. Just on a trainer that you discard a Darkness Pokemon to use. It's a good card, but just Field Blower is just better. You don't have the flexibility of the special energy, but you don't discard a Darkness Pokemon either to use it. So yeah, I doubt this is going to replace Field Blower, even maybe in Darkness decks. Alright, and then we got Metal Goggles. Well, actually, man, I actually skimmed over 2 cards. I don't know what the hell's going on. Electric Charge. Flip 2 coins for each heads, reveal an electric power from your discard pile, and then shuffle into your deck. Alright, I guess you can do that. Maybe you're gonna get 1 back on average. Would have been better if this was a searcher for this card, but it's busted. Then you got the electric power reprint there, so they really want to push these lightning Pokemon. You guys know what this card does. 30 to lightning Pokemon. Okay, Metal Goggles. The metal Pokemon this card is attached to receives 30 less damage from attacks and cannot have damage counters added to it from attacks or abilities. Wow. So this is like the Frying Pan. You block 30 less damage from attacks, but rather than eliminating your weakness, it basically makes you immune to effects of attacks and effects, like the drop damage counter ability of Decide IGX, and the spell tag, the new card from Lost Thunder, and other effects of attacks that just put damage counters on, like Espeon GX's GX attack. So that's good. It's a nice sort of effect to have. Give yourself that immunity. Not bad, not bad. More tool options, I guess, for Metal Pokemon. And we got Nanu, this dude from Sun and Moon. Replace one of your dark Pokemon with one of your basic Pokemon from your discard pile. All damage counters and cards added attached to your Pokemon stay on the new Pokemon. Discard the old Pokemon. So it's gotta be a basic, I guess, and okay, this can come up, I guess. You can just, I don't know, like take a shitty Darkness Pokemon, basic Pokemon that you got that's left on your bench, maybe grab a big guy, uh, then put all the damage counters and stuff. I guess you can do some things with this. You can just, I guess you can surprise your opponent, get a Pokemon that has this sort of rage attack and do lots of damage. I think there's a couple of Darkness Pokemon that have this sort of thing. You can do some combos, but if it's just basic Pokemon, it does have some limitations. It's definitely a surprise factor card, like the Ninja Boy. You use this card in specific situations to get a sort of a big edge, even win the game. Right. Then we got Jasmine. What's up, Jasmine? I played Crystal, and I just remember that, you know, there was no like gym trainers in her gym. That wasn't right. They should have existed. Anyway, search your deck for one metal Pokemon, put it into your hand, then shuffle your deck. If this is played during your first turn, you may search for up to 5 metal Pokemon. What the fuck? This is freaking busted. One metal Pokemon. Jesus. Okay, so wow, metal decks are getting a lot of power with this. I mean, we just usually people just do what they can to play like Lily turn 1 anyway. You know, we have our Lele's, we use a bunch of Lilies, especially now when there's no Juniper. So people are definitely gonna try and use Tapu Lele to just get 5 metal Pokemon. You basically fill your bench. You can just grab like a couple of basics, so you can act like a Elm for anybody. But then you can just grab a bunch of evolution pieces too. So wow, maybe this is what Magnezone is gonna need to be good again. Who knows? It's definitely busted. And then even if you don't use it for like you use it after turn 1, it's a nice sort of one-off support or getting any metal Pokemon. I like it. Like a costless Ultra Ball. Not bad, not bad. It's good that we have a good variety of supporters. And then Black Market. What the fuck kind of name is this? This looks like some ritual shit, not some black market shit. Anyway, that's the stadium. It's gonna be the Dark Prism Stadium. I'm guessing it does have the built-in floating effect where you can't get rid of this with Field Blower and shit. And supporters, you gotta get rid of it with a stadium. And when a Darkness Pokemon with a Darkness Energy attached is knocked out by damage from attacks, the opponent takes 1 less prize cards. Why the fuck did you make this card? Damn it. Why the fuck did you do it? So this is basically, as long as this is around, your Darkness Pokemon with Darkness Energy that only give 1 prize aren't gonna give any prize. Freaking busted. You're gonna have to get rid of this ASAP with Stadium. Like, if your opponent doesn't run any Stadiums, and they just run Darkness Pokemon that are just, like, they're not GXs, you basically, you win, you got another win right there. They can't get rid of this. If they don't have Stadiums, they can't get rid of it with Field Blower or any other sort of effect. And it's gonna stay there and make your dudes immune. All you gotta do is just attach darkness energy and you're not gonna lose ever. Wow, so a very busted card. I mean, I use stadiums in almost all of my decks, but in some decks I just might have only one stadium and I might get hasty and just discard it a lot of the times. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's too much of a good it's too much of an amazing effect, not a good effect, even for a Prism card. Like this doesn't even compare to the other sort of elemental Prism stadiums. Oh well, okay, and this is the set, guys. It's a wrap. Like I've said, I'm not sure how they're gonna release this. They're probably gonna combine this with. Let me just check actually what sort of Pokemon are in this set. Yeah, they might combine this with the Kanto set, or they might combine this with the black and white, like the set that's gonna come after our next set. Our set that's gonna come out in May, you could say, not February. Our May set. It's gonna be the black and white one, I'm pretty sure. They might just do this because there's a bunch of black and white Pokemon in this set anyway. I think there's a lot of them. I could be wrong though. But they might bundle it with one of our main sets. They might make another special Dragon Majesty sort of set. You never know what the hell they're going to do these days. Uh, but this set is definitely great, this mini set. Jirachi is great. The Alolan Muck is probably going to be a bitch. Tabu Koko is busted too. A lot of the Darkness support is pretty great. It just got a lot of. It actually has a lot of cards that I really love that I'm thinking, yeah, this is gonna. I'll be able to use this in X deck, and it's gonna be a great help. So it's great. I hate Alolan Muck, but everything else is just pretty solid. Great stuff to use in decks. Just helps out a lot of the types basically. Minus fire, and I think water. There was no water and fire guys in here. Only the only fire Pokemon with these two guys. Oh well. There's no fairy Pokemon either. I didn't think no psychic Pokemon either. Anyway, we did have a bunch of shit. Okay, small set. Mini set, Japanese set. But okay, these are my reviews, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you're not subscribed to my channel, now is a great time to do so. Not only do I do set reviews, I do decks, matches, a lot of the standard meta stuff for our meta game right now. But I have a lot of retro content too. The Pokemon TCG overview, a lot of retro deck analysis too. And I do set reviews for the older sets too. So a lot of good stuff. I got my top 10 legacy series. I might sometimes talk about Pokemon in general, and just a lot of good stuff. The Pokemon TCG Hub, that's what my channel is. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you guys subscribe, leave a like, share this with your friends, and thank you guys for watching. Saberwolf24, what up?